So when I think about giving birth, I think about like a powerful initiation into motherhood, a rites of passage that connects you with the divine. But 90% of these interventions tend to strip away your intuition. It blocks your intuition and replaces it with fear. And it also disconnects you from the wisdom that has already been written in your DNA. So from an energetic perspective, your body is full of electricity, and it has an energy that actually guides the body during the birthing process, right? So when we bring epidurals, Pitocin, and surgery unnecessarily into the mix, it blocks that electrical current. Let's just start with Pitocin. So Pitocin actually forces unnatural contractions, aka synthetic contractions, that are usually too strong and too intense compared to natural contraction. And this not only makes you out of sync with your baby, but it makes labor more painful and more stressful. And when you're in labor, you have to make sure that you aren't too stressed, or it can lead to unnecessary medical interventions like a C-section, because it will begin to stall your labor, especially when people are receiving Pitocin and they're on the bed laying there versus actually getting up to labor. So I know a lot of women opt in for the epidural because they fear the pain, but the epidural not only numbs you, but it disconnects you from the ability to connect with your baby, right? And so you don't feel that natural urge to push. You literally have to depend on somebody outside of you in order to push, because you're too numb to feel that natural urge to push. And so what a lot of people don't know is that this causes your baby to lose the instinct to descend into alignment with your movements. And that's just if you're even moving, because most people are laying flat on their back, right? So this shows us that the epidural doesn't just affect us, but it affects the baby as well. And if you and your baby are not in alignment, because your baby is also laboring as well, your baby also is feeling those contractions, then what can that lead to? An unnecessary C-section. And when I speak on unnecessary C-sections, I'm not talking about the women who are placed in a situation where it's either life or death, because we all know that C-sections can be life-saving. I am talking about the women who are receiving C-sections that could have been prevented. A negative aspect of C-section is that it delays the skin-to-skin interaction as well as breastfeeding, which affects bonding and breast milk production. So a lot of women who experience C-sections aren't able to breastfeed, or they give up easily because it's too hard, because they really didn't have that fair chance, because they had to recover after going through that major surgery, right? And so since the C-section rates are rising, breastfeeding rates are declining as well. In the 1970s, there was only 7% of women getting C-sections compared to today worldwide, where there is an increase to 31%. And there are literally studies out there that show that Black mothers are more likely to receive unnecessary C-sections compared to our white counterparts or any other race. So that makes you question all of this, that C-sections aren't always mandatory. Now, I do have some natural teas on my website that can actually help prevent these medical interventions from happening if you give birth to your baby in the hospital, right? So on my website, we have a home birth package that comes with a few teas in there. We also have, and just because it's a home birth package don't mean that it's just used for birthing babies at home. If you're giving birth in the hospital, it's still really good to take these teas, because it's going to prepare your body for the birthing process, a smoother delivery process, and it's going to give you the nutrients and vital minerals that you need to have the energy and the nutrients to have a healthy pregnancy. So make sure you look at our caption to read more information, and I'll see y'all on the next video.